series of today, we have none other than Isle 2 Life, aka Flix, which you can also find on Twitch now. We have a lot of streams of Children 2, Company of Heroes, and Wano lately. His opponent is no other than Koenig. So let's go. Let's go. That should be an interesting match. Maverick versus Balanced. We have 84th here? Yeah, 84 with Maverick on the left side for Mr. Flix versus Koenig bringing in the second. The second armored tank core. Second guard's tank core. We have Balanced. Koenig likes to play Balanced when the opportunity arises. Slutsk usually a map there where Maverick versus Balanced is pretty balanced on. Pun intended. As it's a more open map with some further back flags, so getting a 59 not super easy on this map. So a balanced player for sure can hold out against the Maverick player. Not as many flanks to cover as on some of the maps with more narrow choke points and shorter line of sights. So playing defensively here is viable, but a good aggressive push for Maverick still can obviously absolutely work out. And for example, a push in the south could break the neck of a player here on the red side. If blue gets to shoot your reinforcement roads here, this can end the game relatively quickly. Same goes the other way around. If you get the hill as the red side and then you can choke off the enemy reinforcement here as well from these positions over here, killing off these reinforcement roads, which basically kills the whole south. Northern aggression here from Colonel Koenig, being super aggressive on the open ground here. A lot of pressure, but means he has less to defend the south, where the main striking force of Flix is situated. Flix has to think about how to hold on to the north though, and maybe at least try to hold on to this flag. These flags here are basically gone already. Little chance of holding on to them. Though there's actually little armor in this push of Colonel Koenig. Only one T-34 escorting this whole thing. The T-34E coming out on the other side for Flix. SG-43s helping out in the north. Maxim pinned down. 1410 going on. Panzerschreck dying over here. Strofnicki and Channels moving forward as well. 1410 here for Colonel Koenig. Trying to overwhelm all of this. PTRS might be able to get the kill. It's able to get the kill. A lot of interesting formations. It looks kind of like an OG Herr Roberts formation here, with all these SGs and OB-25s in the open. Looks like an OG Herr Robert formation. Question is, can Colonel Koenig hold the southern position? And if not, how much damage can Flix deal down here? Can he force Colonel Koenig to bring in more and more stuff in the south then? Chernos and Strofnicki's pushing in here against the Guardias and one Ognomachiki. First flag has fallen at least already. Assist 3 gun here though, has to be careful. Ognomachikis could come over and kill it off. Guardia DP coming around here. Maybe help out. Yak 1B coming in, but this, if the 37mm would unload, it might be coming in just in time to protect the units. Nope. Okay. 25mm coming in a bit too late. SG-43 will die. Yak 1B finding its first victim. AA pieces here coming in for Flix as well. T-34E in the open. No anti-tank guns, only one T-34 is really interesting setup here for Colonel Koenig. Pretty risky setup, to be honest. As the T-34 will engage the Strofnickis here, but it can't take this engagement. The T-34E outplays the T-34 1943 by a lot. The frontal armor difference is super crucial in this matchup, as the T-34E has a really good chance of penetration, whilst the other way around, there's a pretty low one. So yeah, Colonel Koenig can't take this one. So the T-34E projecting a lot of power currently. The only thing that is really holding all of this together at the moment, and the killer for it is coming up. It's his 2-gun, can deal with T-34s pretty easily. At least Flix is seeing that with the scouting plane. Whilst in the south, T-34Es are pushing forward. Got the kill on one T-34 off Colonel Koenig here. So This position is starting to develop well for Flix. Killing off the Saperis. T-34 is coming in here, but as I said, they don't take an engagement well, the 43 versus the E. Colonel Koenig has to be careful of that. Su-85 obviously can outrange the T-34E. That is a good counter if you can use it on the long ranges. So that's a good investment there. U-2 Bomber coming in to deal with some units here as well. 2-2 over here has to go back. 37mm can't reach that far. And the T-34E up here has to be careful. Got penetrated by the OB-25. Pretty painful, as that also leaves it with a transmission damage now. And that puts it into a dangerous position, as disengaging away now will be tough. Gets killed off. T-34 plus OB-25 get the kill. And that leaves the 37mm stranded in the open. And the whole situation in the north becoming really, really painful here for Flix. Has to do similar damage now, at least in the south. Overrun this whole section, then maybe can force a somewhat weird split. A somewhat vertical split here of the map, away from the classic horizontal, from a player's perspective. But obviously you want to hold on to your spawning zones, so some quick reinforcements here to just hold out to this spawning location would be nice. If this T-34 can cut off this spawn, that can be really, really painful. Yak 1B coming in. But not on target. I'm not quite sure what went wrong there, but something did. Ice 2. Okay, that's a lot of power. Coming in there. 59 currently for Colonel Koenig. Su-85 rolling forward. T-34E is now disengaging. Holding on still to the hill. But now Colonel Koenig also pushing southbound. Sis 3-gun and OB-25 already pinned down. That's pretty painful. 50 cal half-tracks here. Moving in. One of them being recon. Running out of ammo though. Okay, that's maybe the saving grace here. That both of these used up all their ammo already. Chicky over here. Getting the kill on one channel. Channel not quite able to engage the other one just yet. Yak 1B. Not able to get the kill, but at least doing some damage. Ooh, flying weirdly though. And the 25mm most likely will get the kill. Didn't turn away immediately, and that is most likely that Yak 1B, the 25mm with 1-star veterancy, actually has a good amount of DPS. And the Yak 1B is a really flimsy plane. And there we go, that's big loss. Yak 1B's being able to strike everywhere, striking over zealous units, always nice to have, as they do a good amount of damage. Wiping out enemy anti-tank guns or enemy infantry squads that are a bit too far forward. U2 here getting forced back by the 37mm down here. And yeah, the half-tracks have been beaten. OB-25 will stay alive for now. 59 though for the balanced player is obviously not a great prospect here at the moment for our blue player. But B-phase around the corner, and that's where all the income advantage really starts to kick in. Maybe something can be done then. Saperis coming in here as well. T-34E's shifting position. Trying to go for a push into this section of the map. And that could work out. Su-85 not in a perfect position to cover this. And only 3 Guardias here versus Saperis and 3 Guardias on the other side. Plus 2 T-34s could work out. And if you break this position, that could be also doom for the red side in the south. Meanwhile, another half-track push. Overwhelming some infantry. OB-25 nearly pinned down as well. A good usage of half-tracks in general here by our player in red. Colonel Koenig doing a good job there. IS-2 has to be careful. Might have even gotten penetrated there. I'm not too sure about this. Oh. Why is the frame rate... Why is the performance in Steel Division 2 so bad today? I'm not quite sure what's happening there. Sorry for the frames. And maybe we go down one graphic level. T-34E moving up. U2 coming around. Yak 9T flying in as well. A lot of U2s here. Coming in for a bombing run. Chicky being killed off. And the Yak 9T with a nice strafing. 1410 going on. M2A1 rolling forward. Can this IS-2 break the stalemate in the north? It needs reinforcement, it needs support for it. 84th is the problem. You don't have as much support for those big boys as you want to. U2s here coming in with nice bombing runs. No way in the south to help out. But still, breakthrough nearly achieved here for Flix. So losing the hill here is big. The half-track is there, achieving the kill of this position. Makes another means another position that Flix will have to take back costly, and especially time-wise, it will put another pressure on him, as he needs to get to a 59 within B phase to turn this around, and that means taking 6 flags at this stage. Channels also getting under fire by the Sis-2, one of them dying in transport. Not what you want to have happen. 10-14 now. Extra pressure on the south. Saperi killing the Sis-3 gun. Big loss as well. Sis-3 gun up here could be really nice as well. Dealing with the T-34s and so on. Ooh, T-34s getting killed off by anti-tank grenades. Yeah, this game is going pretty heavily south right now for Flix in the north and in the south. Losing the T-34s is big. Su-85 helping out. Loader wounded on the T-34 means that Saperis can't be rescued. Yak-9 coming in for some strafing. Maybe staying a bit too long, overstaying its welcome here, as the 37mm gets a couple of extra shots here. The Yak-9 team might go down. Would be a nice kill. Yes, it does. Good kill for the 37mm, but this position here in the north is pretty bad for our Maverick player. We are now on B phase, so good income is at hand now. More AA coming up here as well. IL-2, 37, hunting down the T-34 76 over here. Getting the kill there. One of the good units in the 84th. Having bombs and the anti-tank guns. Not quite finding the target there. No AA in the south for Colonel Koenig. Means somewhat free reign here. 50 cal trying to pin it down, but obviously that's not doing much. But still in 11-13. And every minute ticking by here is 1 minute that Colonel Koenig gets closer to his huge income advantage in C phase. The counter-offensive in the north really taking Flix completely off guard and costing him so much terrain. Dealt with the Sis-2 gun at least, so the IS-2 now could reign supreme here, but doesn't have anything in front of it to spot the enemy. And obviously also always risky to try to move that forward if you don't have the scouting force for it. Losing an IS-2 would be basically the end of all northern ambitions of Flix, so he has to be ready for when it starts moving. But getting ready there costs time, and time is the most valuable resource right now for Flix. If this game goes deep into C phase, there's basically no chance whatsoever for Flix to win this game. 37mm IL-2 trying to kill off the T-34, 1944 over here. Not able to get the kill though. 37mm IL-2 gets pushed back. Next one coming in, but with the 25mm down here, they can't loiter for as long as they were able to do earlier. And yeah, always struggling to hit units on the edge of a hill. More T-34s coming in. No IS-2 in the south yet. More support weapons in the north though. And the 85mm and 37mm for sure should keep the U2s at bay. They shouldn't be able to achieve anything down here in the south, other than wasting enemy AA ammo, I guess. But no more bombing run with these, as long as the AA pieces stay in service. Kadyusha coming in. Colonel Koenig holding still the 1311. Doesn't have to do any aggressive moves at this stage. Just needs to hold the line. And he's getting more and more stuff defensively ready. This is looking pretty rough for Flix now. the one thing that might help him is really overwhelming the north, as there's little anti-tank up here. IS-2 plus maybe a couple more T-34s for a push could maybe achieve some big success up here. But T-34-85 is now coming in here. A lot of U-2s flying in as well, though the AA is there to stop them. IS-2 is moving forward, but it needs to go relatively quickly now. Saperji rocks, nice infantry. Katyusha coming in. Some 25mm joining the whole action in the center now as well. So AA is there to stop IL-237s from doing too much in the future. But the IS-2 helping out in the north. OB-25 should fall relatively quickly. Saperji rocks going pretty close to this forest. And they should win against the Guardias in there. OB-25 going down. OB-25's off. Flix also slowly moving forward. Saperji rocks in here now. Easily being able to deal with this SG-43 most likely. Ah, not quite close enough, but yeah. Cover versus no cover still wins this engagement. AA pieces keeping the U-2s back. Could even focus fire and kill some off of them. 2-2 coming in as well. Try to spot some units up here. But already 15 minutes played. And we still don't have a single tick here for the blue player. And that is quite troublesome. Cancer Shreks coming in. Might be helpful. OB-25 is now helping out in the north. At least the 12-12 will be achieved most likely relatively soon with this position in the north. But then Flix needs a big breakthrough here. T-34-85 coming up. IS-2 moving forward. Southern position looks pretty safe by now for Colonel Koenig with the T-34-85s around. IS-2 will help out in the center. 34 coming around here as well. Saperji rocks for some extra CQC firepower. Yeah, flag in the north falls. It's a 12-12. But how much more terrain can be grabbed here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flags in the north. That would be an 18-6. But obviously, Colonel Koenig still can react to this. This is not gonna happen without any counterplay of the red team. There are 6 flags for the 18-6 to grab in the north. And an 18-6 is basically what Flix needs at this stage to end this game in a time before the balanced income advantage is just getting overwhelming. But it really won't be easy. Especially as the defensive position in the south also is not that amazing that Flix can just leave it be. Still has to invest more here, even losing a flag here once more. Yeah, T-34 overwhelmed by 2 of the enemy. T-34-85 beating out the 76s completely. Saperji rocks Nognamachiki trying to move forward here, trying to recapture this flag. IS-2 still moving in, but just too much time lost here. Thanks to the big counteroffensive of Koenig early on. So much ground, so much territory. It now has to be one bit at a time. IL-237 trying to get the kill there. But the front armor of the T-34-85 is just good enough for the IL-237 to struggle to penetrate. Not getting the kill once more. IS-2 over here. Trying to engage. Not able to do so. T-34-76 is engaging in itself. Beating down the Strafnikis. Saperji's helping out here as well. IL-237 getting beaten hard. Gets beaten hard. Saperji rocks moving in here. Nognamachiki could be killed off. But it's still a 13-11. And we are only 2 minutes away from C-phase. This, I fear, is not going anywhere for our blue player. Another IL-237 on the hunt. But there's just a bit too much AA now. As I said, the T-34-85 is just well enough armored that frontal attacks with the 37mm is not good enough. As it has 60mm of penetration. With the amount of shots that it fires on the target and how close it gets against anything up to 100mm, at some point it will just penetrate, just by the amounts of shots it gets on the target with like, even with a low chance of penetration, it will penetrate. But I think it has like 2% of chance penetration against the 110mm, which is just not good enough. Get a kill there. Against these you need side shots. So Perry versus SG43. Yeah, the northern position obviously now looks way better. Most likely will lead to some push power of IL-2 here. But with the whole southern position now being under control for Koenig, it would have been really tough. And even with a slight KD advantage, with so much more flex to grab, and the enemy now having the insane income advantage, Flix decides to surrender game 1 here. And Colonel Koenig wins this one. So GGVP to Colonel Koenig in game 1. Let's see if Flix can bring it back in game 2. Was for sure some interesting move there by Colonel Koenig. Really catching his opponent off guard. Like a really Robert-esque kind of move. I absolutely liked it, but it was risky. It was really, really risky. Like 1 or 2 T-34s in the north at the beginning for Flix, and this game would have gone completely south for Colonel Koenig. But it wasn't the case, and that means 1-0 for Colonel Koenig.